Okay. Hi, guys. Welcome back to That's the Whiskey, your new or old favorite podcast. If you're new here, my name's Jasmine Cruz. I am from Sonoma County, California, and I'm just a young girl in her 20s talking shit on a podcast. If you're a returning listener, thank you so much for coming back. We have a really amazing guest today. I feel like every time somebody comes on, I'm like, we have a really, really special guest today.
Well, special, so.
Okay. This is Diliet.
Hello, guys. I'm back.
Yeah. So if you've been listening to this podcast for a while, I have a couple.
Yeah, I think this might be 3 or 4. This might be 3, like my 3rd time.
Yeah. Diliet's been on at least a couple times.
Yeah.
Where do I even start? I feel like I have to like start new because I know that like there's some people that are only ever going to start listening from the first recorded episode that's like on YouTube or like people that like come from like TikTok or wherever or like Instagram Reels. But Diliet and I have been best friends for over a decade.
A lifetime.
Yeah. She knows all my biggest, darkest, slimiest, most horrible secrets. But yeah, she's my BFF. I don't know what. Yeah, for life.
For life.
Okay.
We have to make that clear for everyone.
But I feel like we have really opposite personalities.
We do. Yeah. But
And
I
that's
think
why
that
we
works.
mix so well. We're like yin and yang.
Literally. She's a Meredith to my Grant. Or she's a Meredith to my Yang.
I think I'm the Christina to your Meredith.
Yeah.
If you guys don't get it, it's a Grey's Anatomy reference.
Yeah.
But I think that I think I would be Christina. I don't know though. They're kind of both. I don't know because I feel like you're not
I don't think
bitchy
I'm
enough
really,
to be Christina. Not that I think I'm like a mega bitch.
No, but
Oh.
I feel even Meredith though, like I feel like I can't see myself that much.
You're just so unique.
I'm Izzy.
Dude, I hate that bitch. I actually hate that bitch. She left.
Yeah.
Fucking, what's his name? Karev. Alex. And then pulled him back.
And he left Joe.
That was disgusting.
That hurt.
Yeah.
That hurt.
Anyway, so today we're doing something really fun. So if you guys haven't ever, I don't know if you guys go on Reddit. I personally like Reddit. There's some weird stuff on there. Lots of porn too. Don't go because you might find me. Just kidding. But there's like so many different what would you compare it to? It's just like where people can like talk about stuff, right? It's like there's little like communities. Almost reminds me of like Tumblr in a way.
That's what it reminded me of.
Yeah. Or like 4chan. Am I weird for knowing what that
I don't know what that
is.
But it's like Tumblr, but like more.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't really use Tumblr, but like that
or
was more
like
pictures.
Quora.
Where you like just
Quora.
Yeah.
Whatever. And so there's this like subreddit, or this like community thing, and it's called "Am I the Asshole?" So you guys have probably like seen these posts on like circulate on like Instagram or like Facebook. Like Facebook pages will like repost them, or Twitter, like everywhere. And like there's been like other people have done like articles purely like on it, or on like the craziest ones or whatever. Basically, a person will go on and they will decide to make a post, a blog or whatever of a dilemma, and they're asking the users of Reddit, everyone from all different backgrounds all over the world, if they think that they're the asshole or not, which I think is funny. I mean, I guess
cool,
that's like
though,
a good,
because it's like you can get people's perspectives,
right,
and see which one you relate to,
right,
you know.
No, yeah. Well, and because I feel like I always, like, when I ask people for advice, which is rarely ever because I know everything, but but like when I do, I find myself gravitating more towards people that I barely know, or like customers. Like there's this one customer that comes into my work. I don't want to say his name because I don't know if he would want me to say his name, but actually 2 customers that I can think of. One's name is Matt. Love him. But there's another one too. But I find that like we're not like fucking BFFs or anything. Like we don't really like know each other, but like we see each other like all the time, like every day in passing. They come into my work. And I'll totally like lay all of my life problems out on both of them. And I like really value their opinions, not just because I think that they're intelligent and like, there's one thing I value more than intelligence, actually. I think when I'm asking people for advice, and it's, if somebody's like cool under pressure, if they're like calm, zen, centered, you know, because like I think that like I can be so hot-headed. Diliet's like,
but it's okay. We still love you.
It's okay. But like because of that, I always, and they're both like that, like just like chill. Matt is kind of more like me, like kind of intense, but like when he's giving me advice, he always seems like he's coming from like a really centered, like non-biased place. Yeah, you know. But anyway, so I get it, right? Like I would be the type of person to post something on Reddit. I have not. Too.
Me neither.
But I am the type of person who would do that.
And sometimes you like know already what the people who you go to ask for advice are already going to say. And it's like you're not looking for, like, if you already know that, then you don't want to hear it. You know, you want to hear, like, and if you go to someone else and they do say what you're thinking, it's, you kind of take it like, well, this person is unbiased. They don't care. Like, they're giving me what they honestly think. Like, they care enough to, like, tell me, like, hey, yeah, you fucked up. Or, no, you're fine. Right. So I feel like it's better rather than, like, you telling, like, not saying you can't talk to your friends, but...
Don't talk to your friends, guys. Isolate yourself. Just kidding.
Just hide away from the world. But, yeah, so I think it's cool.
Well, yeah, I mean, and I think, I don't know, though, because then at the same time, too, there's the part of me that's like, there's fucking, like... Think of the people that are reading that. Like, do you really, like... I doing it, like, are you really going to take people's opinions to heart? You know?
I guess it depends on the type of person you are.
Because, like, what if some fucking nut job goes on there and is like, you're the asshole? Like, are you going to think, like, oh, fuck, like, I'm the asshole?
Yeah. Or, no, I mean, I would want, like, whoever's responding to, like, my dilemma, I'm like, okay, tell me why. Like, really convince me.
I'm going to go search Reddit every night looking for whatever. I'm going to go on tonight. It's going to be like, am I the asshole for never wanting to be on my best friend's podcast ever again?
Oh, my God.
Me, 22, female. My best friend, 22, female.
Sonoma
She's also
County.
a Scorpio. Her name's Jasmine Cruz.
I just blast you. Like, hey.
She's just a bitch.
But listen to her podcast, guys.
Thanks for the plug. Did I, whatchamacallit, after posting, like, first of all, I feel like I really dropped the ball. Just for the people listening, watching. I I feel like I really dropped the ball with like advertising for the first episode because our friend passed away, first of all, so that was not our favorite. That wasn't the best time. And then, you know, like when that happens, like you're just so like I feel like for that whole week I was just like
it's kind of like
I do know
not
like,
I was just
I
like not in real world, like I was kind of out of it,
right.
so.
And then like I had a bunch of like little clips that I was gonna post and stuff, and then I felt like I waited too long and this and that, so hopefully with this episode things are a little different. If somebody else dies, I will persevere no matter what.
So swear to God,
it's like,
I will have
no.
a personal conversation with you because I can't.
But yeah, so I just wanted to say that just for anybody that might be listening that listened to the first one. And like I feel like I got a really good amount of love for that. I was surprised because I thought more people would be like so stoked that it was on video. But I feel like people were more excited about the quality,
the progress, or
and like
the step up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't like the video part I feel like didn't get like as much of a freak out as I thought it would get. However, I'm not like stressing about it. I'm just kind of surprised.
Yeah.
But I did get a lot of feedback, and I'm actually working on a collab with another podcast. It's called the Buttery Males Podcast. I don't know where they're located, but it's this group of guys, and they're super funny. Everybody should check them out. But yeah, so I'm again excited to be here.
Me too.
It's so exciting. Like I just like
I'm so like wow.
like
shit.
Right?
Period.
I'm like, yeah. I'm like, I was telling Diliet how I was like scrambling to get here, and I like got off work. For those who don't know, I manage a coffee shop. I'm like into coffee. Diliet also works at a coffee shop. I used to be her boss. Imagine having me as a boss. Sounds traumatic.
Jasmine advocated for me to work with her.
I literally like
that was the best like 2 months. So well, it was like just good kidding. For like a month or so.
We got an asshole boss and then I quit. But I like was like running around. I was like, yeah guys, gotta go run to the studio, I gotta leave. I was like, yeah, I recorded in the studio.
Well, I stopped by another, like, our sister coffee shop, and I was like, I'm going to go record a podcast with Jasmine. Bye, guys. And they were like, ooh. I was like, yeah. So.
You know what? Whenever people are like, I'll be like, oh, yeah, I'll tell them on my podcast or whatever. And people are like, you have a podcast? And I'm like, yeah, like, I do. But I think people think that you have, and I kind of like it this way because it makes me feel cool. But like, I think people think that like to have a podcast, you need to like have like all this, like you need to do like a lot, or like to start one at least. Like obviously, like the setup now is different than like what I was in.
Yeah.
Thank you to Phil. But like it's really not that hard, but I feel like people are like like it almost makes me feel like, you know, but yeah, so I guess we should get started.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Oh, I should mention this because for some reason people like to hear from my astrology bitches. People like to know what people's signs are when they come on.
Oh my god. I feel like
so what's your astrology sign?
So I'm a Cancer. I feel like I'm not really I've been told like I'm a Cancer,
she's a
but
bitch.
I don't act okay.
Just kidding.
but I don't act like a Cancer. I think that's right. Like, I feel like that's what a lot of people say.
I feel like you
I
do.
don't even know my
Okay,
like,
so
3 things. I always
let me
ask Jazz.
let me tell you. She's a Capricorn rising. She is an Aquarius moon. My mom's an Aquarius moon. And
oh no, my mom isn't.
our moms are both Aquariuses.
Yeah.
My mom's an Aquarius sun and moon, which, if you don't know what astrology means, basically like emotionless. But whenever me and Diliet like do our charts, and we do our compatibility, literally every planet is like a perfect match for each other. So I don't know. I mean, people say astrology isn't real. Some people say it is real. All I know is that me and Diliet have been best friends for 10 plus years.
I think
we
that's
don't really fight ever. We mostly agree on everything.
Yeah.
We're both hilarious, amazing,
hot,
great boobs. And our charts like match up perfectly.
Literally.
I mean, be fucking for real.
We literally just
be honest with yourself.
Astrology is real. Like, we are the proof. So,
but yeah. So I don't know. People ask that. They'll be
I
like,
think that's interesting.
"Oh, what was their sign?" Blah blah blah. And I'm like, weird, but I like it.
Look at you listening to your listeners.
I know.
Wow.
What can I say? I'm just the best podcast host.
For real.
So let's read these.
It's interesting dilemmas.
Okay. So this one. So the first 2 are from Reddit themselves, and then the third one is, I didn't see the actual post on Reddit, so it's kind of like paraphrasing, but it's from a website it's actually from Refinery 29 that did an article on like the craziest "Am I the Asshole" posts. Okay, so here we go. Am I the asshole for not wanting to adopt my nephew? We both have nephews, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. So we'll throw that out there first.
You are close to your nephews, where I'm not really.
Which I think that is a strength here. Because we have both perspectives.
Yeah,
see,
exactly.
Guys, come on. Is it so not clear? My husband and I are 34 and 32, respectively. What does that mean?
32 and what?
Respectively. Like, what? Like, why did they add that?
I don't know.
Dude, I need like an older white person to come like
explain.
I'm sorry. We have a 4-year-old son. We live a fairly privileged life. We aren't exceedingly wealthy, but we have what we need and more, and live comfortably. Comfortably. We have made the conscious decision not to have more than one child to maintain the financial means to enjoy life and go on vacations, enroll our son in classes, etc. My sister is 20. She recently had a son. We used to be close, but we live in different states, so we don't talk as much. My sister lives a very different life. She is the product of my father's affair with another woman and lived with her mother until I was a teenager and my father got full custody. She was kind of a difficult teenager and made a lot of poor decisions. She still lives with my parents, and the pregnancy is the result of a friends with benefits situation. She is not handling her son well. It is likely that she may lose custody of him if things proceed as they are. My father mentioned that it may be worth exploring if my husband and I could take custody of the child if she cannot get her act together. He mentioned that it would be impossible for him and my mother to care for the child as they are advancing in age. They're in their late 60s. I told him absolutely not. Okay. We enjoy our life as it is and do not have the capacity or willingness to care for another. My mother called me a few days ago and said I'm being selfish and cruel for potentially letting the child be taken by the state. I feel bad for my nephew, but don't feel like it's my responsibility to pick up where my sister failed. Am I the asshole?
That one's intense.
Do you want to start
Okay.
with your opinion?
So I have an older brother, much older than me, and we are not close, just a lot of stuff. Also because he's older, lives out of state, has 2 kids, like young, I think younger than 4. I mean, and it's possible we'll have a relationship one day, but in the time being, there isn't really one. But if anything were to happen to both of them, and like his mom or like any of them, I feel like I would take him in.
Right.
Just because I don't know. I don't know if that's just like.
So do you think she's the asshole?
Yeah. Yeah.
I do too.
Because
I
don't
actually
know.
do too.
I have been like, I don't know. I think, like, compared to like all my cousins and stuff, we were the youngest, me and my siblings, and we've had it harder with like extended family for no reason. Just we were kids, so there really wasn't much we did, like nothing. So I always told myself, like as I got older, the cousins who were younger than me, even if my mom and her brother or my dad and his sister or whoever, you know, stopped talking, whatever, I was like, that doesn't affect my relationship with my cousins. They're 10 years old. Like,
Right.
what did they do, you know?
Right.
And I was like, I didn't like that, so I wouldn't want that. So I just feel like, what did the kid do, you know? Like, you're going to put him in foster care and, like...
Well, I think for the person writing it, I think it was more about, like, being comfortable and, like...
Yeah,
having... It seems more like for financial reasons.
Yeah.
However... if I were to talk to them, like myself, if I was responding to the Reddit post, I would say, I think your opinion, and I feel this way intuitively, and based off of like how they wrote it and what they wrote in it, I would ask them, do you think any of this has to do with the fact that your sister was a product of your dad's affair?
100%.
Because you mentioning that says something.
Yeah.
Right? Like, clearly you're feeling some type of way.
Yeah.
Even, like, years later. Secondly, does your disagreement or distaste for your sister have anything to do with it? Do you have other siblings? Would you feel differently about their kids?
Yeah.
You know, and, like, what would you hope somebody would do for your kid?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, so I have 4 brothers, and I have 4 nephews, and 1 niece, and I've actually the past week have been thinking about that a lot, like this whole thing, and so it's funny that like came up at all, and like I was just thinking about how it would be like so annoying, like to like have to like take care of somebody's kid because they fucked up really bad. And however, I still come to the same conclusion of like, I like over my dead body would want to like, and I think of my 2 little nephews because they're the only ones who would like the state would be able to take. So like they're both 5 and like literally over my dead body would like the state take my, and it's like, the thing is too, is it's like, that the reasoning just doesn't match up in the post, and it's just like you realize what happens when kids get taken by the state. It's not like they're like, oh, like here's your little like fake family, it's gonna be great. Like, you know how many kids are getting like molested by their like fucking weird like foster parents, like sorry, like, or abused, how many or
go
like
go
missing or like run away because it's so bad. Like, it's, I mean...
like, your chances aren't 100% aren't good. Like, it's very...
and
like, you hear about these stories where there are few foster families who are actually good.
Of course,
But it's, like, are you willing to take that gamble with your, like, own family member?
Right.
And, like, someone who's so... like, who can't stick up for themselves? Like, who
totally.
can? So...
I just don't... Yeah.
And the fact that, like, I feel like she said, like, they're comfortable and they're able, that's not, to me, that sounds like, what, they're middle class. They're able to.
She said they're comfortable, like, enough to, like, she
to,
said they're not, like, let me see, because I'm pretty sure she, like, made
and
it
I
a
feel
point
like there could be changes to where, like, you are able to take, I know it's a lot to take a child
we
in.
live a fairly privileged life.
Yeah.
We aren't exceedingly wealthy, but we have what we need and more, and live comfortably. So
yeah.
I'm like,
it seems like I, like, from that
you're
to
the
me,
asshole.
it sounds like
You're
she's
a big fucking
yeah.
asshole.
Yeah.
I understand I mean, we actually, we know someone who, parents died, had to take in a child, somebody not that much older than us.
Oh.
Diliet's like,
God damn.
who else?
No, it came.
Who else in Jasmine's life died? And like, I definitely see where, like, it's, like, really hard and stuff, and, like, that's something that I haven't had to do. However, if they weren't there to do that, I know that me, the other siblings, like, everybody else in the family would have, like, stepped up.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think that this person's a fucking asshole.
Yeah,
like,
I
I
do
don't
too.
know how to put it kindly.
Yeah.
Like, I think you're a dick.
The stuff with her sister, and then it's just a little bit, like, very much, like, materialistic. And
right.
that's, like, more important, which I'm like, I need to
right.
do a lot of soul searching.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe she'll hear this.
Yeah, maybe she'll hear. I'm gonna post the title on TikTok. I'll be like, hey, or I could go find it and be like, hey, just let you know we talked about it on my podcast, and you're a dick.
Go take a listen.
I mean, shit. Okay. Am I the asshole for canceling dinner after my fiance let his mother sit in the front seat?
Oh my god.
Oh my god, wait. Before I do this, okay, so I always, like, make fun of my boyfriend. And I always tease him and say that he has a foot fetish. He doesn't. Fuck, I feel like I'm gonna get in trouble for this, but he doesn't. He doesn't. But, like, I, like, was, like, joking. Like, I said it, and, like, his mom, we were FaceTiming, and his mom was like, I didn't know she was next to him.
Oh, God.
And she was like, you have a what fetish? And I was like,
I'm not talking to him. I was talking to someone else.
And he was like, I'm very neat. I have a neat fetish. Like, I'm just so neat all the time. Blah, blah, blah. And I was like, first of all, it alarms me how good you were at, like, turning that into something else so fast. And then she was like, I don't think that's what you said. Oh. But okay. And I was like,
oh my
God. Anyway. Well, this is, like, the first person I've dated whose, like, mom isn't, like, dead. Hence dating old men. Okay, not the first. I was being dramatic, but
first in a while.
It's very interesting. Can I say that it's very interesting, like, dealing with parents and, like, mothers. Like, I was so nervous to meet his mom. Like, so nervous. But I feel like it's probably worse for men to have to meet a woman's parents.
Yeah, I mean, like, or meeting a dad. Like, I feel like that's...
Dude, he's got it easy. meeting my dad. My dad literally was like, hi, buddy. Hi, buddy. My dad thinks that he's, like, the sweetest, most innocent person because he's white. Literally. That's literally it. Like, because we were talking the other day, and he was like, well, you just let him know. If he breaks your heart, I break his jaw. His jaw. And I was like, why didn't you tell him? Like, I think it would be funny. And he was like, no, baby, he white boy. He's too sweet. Like, he too nice. I could never say that to him. And I was like, you're so dumb. Like, God.
Oh, God.
Somebody's got to scare him. My family thinks he's, like, the most sweetest, like, little innocent person ever. And I'm like, anyway. 24-year-old female. Wow, they're married young. Recently got betrothed to my betrothed to my fiance, 26-year-old male, who I've known for 4 years. Unfortunately, his mother is in town. I say unfortunately, as his mother isn't the biggest fan of me and always indicates that I'm a gold digger for being in a relationship with her son as someone with a completely different social background. Over the holidays, she kept on saying that her son better sign a prenup before he reaches his financial demise and my gain. Nonetheless, we all needed to drive back from the cabin where we spent the holidays back to our house. His mother didn't bring her car, and neither did I, so my fiancé drove us back and forth whilst the rest arrived in separate cars. When we were planning to head back a couple of days ago, his mother told him that she wanted to sit in the front of his car to have a good view of the ride back, though I beforehand told him that I needed to speak with him on the way back about something important that we could discuss without his mother understanding due to the vague amount of information needed. The ride to the cabin was already excruciating enough, with her telling us monotonous stories that had the parable of love will never prevail.
Oh my God.
I just wanted to relax on the ride back and be in conversation with my fiance. He knew this, yet when she asked just before and she did her little "I'll soon be gone" act, he just let her sit in the front. He proceeded to give me the "just this once, I'm sorry" look, and just, that is such a man thing.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I guess that's an everyone thing. That, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's it, right?
But I feel like guys do it more because they don't want to, I don't know.
She's on to something, guys. He just let her sit in the front, blah, 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 and I just sat in the back seat while she put me on the verge of frenzy. We had booked a dinner the next day with just me and my fiance, though I wasn't in the mood after that car ride. I initially planned to tell him after this car trip, but after thinking about it deeply, I don't want to tell him if he will continuously subside my feelings to make his mother happy. I canceled it that night, and he told me I've been upset since the car ride home and that I shouldn't make nothing into something. His mother took a flight back to her house. He proceeded to tell me his reasons and how he will make it up to me. I didn't change my stance, and he got upset at me for being melodramatic. Am I the asshole? That's a lot.
Ooh.
That's a lot to, like, unpack in one. There's a lot of, like,
I've heard of that. Not this, like, specific story, but this, like, this happening to, like, wives and stuff. Like, on TikTok, I'll see it. I can't really remember, like, but I feel like it's a thing that guys who are, like, I don't know, mama's boys who don't really want to overstep anything, and they're just like, I've seen it on TikTok.
Who are we talking about? Okay, wait.
I feel for her.
Can I bring something up, though,
What?
before we get into this? Do you remember my high school boyfriend? And do you remember when we broke up briefly for one night because he wouldn't let you sit in the front seat?
Yeah. Oh my God, dude. I was like, I'm here forever. You.
Yeah. You're just
temporary.
seasoned. Yeah. No.
Like, sorry,
guys,
dude.
this guy literally flipped out on me.
Oh my God, yeah.
Flipped out. I remember, like, he would never do that, obviously, when, like, my brothers or my parents were around.
Did you drop me off home?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then after, he was, like, he was so mad at me. No, you came home with us.
Oh my God, I was
stayed
downstairs.
the night. And remember, he was like,
Oh my god.
The only time a man has ever spoken to me like this. Like, like my own father, like, doesn't even, like, talk to me like that. Like, even, like, out of all the anger that my dad's, like, ever had.
I was downstairs with Prince, like.
He goes.
Shit, man.
Prince is my dog, or was my dog. Just kidding. Well, I'm not kidding. He's dead. Anyway. So I was, like, standing at the top of the stairs, and then, like, Diliet was downstairs, like, in the kitchen or something with my dog. And then, what should we call him? Bitch ass. You know how, like,
really trying to think of a
normal podcasts will be like, we'll call him Joe.
Yeah.
Like,
Bob.
No, bitch ass. No. And so I was at the top of the stairs, and he was at the bottom of the stairs, and I was like, literally, like, go home. Like, if you're gonna act like a because then he got mad because I wouldn't have sex with him right after. I was like, did we not just really get in a big ass fight? Like, I don't love you like that.
And it was like a special, like, it was your.
It was. I think it was
birthday
my
or your party.
Yes, my sweet 16.
Yes. So you're gonna pull all of that shit
after
that
night.
No.
And he looks at me at the top of the stairs, and he goes, "You're a fucking bitch."
And the house went silent.
I literally, like,
Diliet was in the kitchen, like,
Diliet was playing with my dog, and literally, like, she's like, "Oh, Prince, come here," and then it just went silence. But the best part, I swear to God, was his face after he said it. Like he knew he fucked up. Like, he was literally like. And, like, he was like, "I'm so sorry. Please don't tell your dad. Please don't tell your brothers when they get here. Like, please don't tell them." And I was like, okay. And I was just like,
and your whole family was on their way home.
Yeah, like, we were
literally
all, we just got there first. Mm-hmm. Like, and then I was like, I remember just, like, looking at him and, like, because, like, I'm not a yeller. Like, I'm not, when it comes to anger, I'm not, like, that's just not my.
You're calm angry.
Like, like, unsettling. Like, I was talking to who was I talking to? I was talking with you about this yesterday.
We did talk.
Day before yesterday, we were talking about anger.
Oh, yeah,
anger issues.
We were.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
It's, like, such, like, a fashion trend to be like, yeah, like, I have anger issues. And I'm like, no, dude, like, I have to talk to my therapist about it every Thursday at 5. Like, no. Like,
it ain't a trend.
It ain't it's not a good thing. Anyway, but, yeah, I was just so mad, and I was just, like, not saying anything, because I was just like, I feel like usually when I'm mad, though, I'm so shocked that somebody, like, has the audacity to be that rude to me that I'm like, I ask a lot of questions. Mm-hmm. If I'm, like, really mad, like, I'll be like, so,
did you just
what
do yourself? Like,
made you feel like that would have been the best way to go about it?
Like,
and then because I found as I've gotten older, maybe it's because of growing up with fucking, like, ratchet psychos, like, the older I've gotten, I've been like, when you, like, match people's energy, you don't have, like, when you do it like that, it just, like, it makes them feel like they have the control, and there's nothing more controlled than controlling yourself.
Yeah.
And your own emotions.
And that's, like, in everything.
Well, like, for me, I don't even think I'm, like, actively, like, I need to control myself. I think I, like, just, like, black out, or I'm, like, so mad that I, like, can't.
You're
but
like...
Anyway. Where were we? I didn't even know. I don't even know where I am. Why did I bring that up? Oh, the front seat, though. Yes. Because he freaked out. My opinion,
well, that was
on the seating thing. I was always raised to, like if it was me and my boyfriend, his mom, I would tell her to sit in the front seat. I feel like it's, like, a respect thing.
Yeah.
do I think it really, like, matters that much? No, but, like, whatever. It's hard because, like, I feel like in this situation where I'm like, yeah, you got to be, like, respectful of your fiance's mom. At the same time, I'm like, this bitch literally, like, calls you a gold digging, like, slimy bitch to your face.
Yeah.
So it's like, at what point
is
enough,
like,
and you just don't gotta respect her like that ever.
And it's like,
you know?
the whole point is that she wanted to talk to her husband about it, or fiance
Right.
about it during the ride, like, with just him.
Right.
So it's like she didn't get to do that, which, you know, set her off, which I'm like, ugh.
Well, I
don't know. I also, it's just kind of like respect. I don't know. It's just kind of like respect your, like, I don't know. Maybe it's bad that I'm like, oh, like, I would just hold my tongue because.
Well, I just feel like send him a text.
Yeah.
Like, if you needed to talk about something so bad, like.
Well, they would have talked to each other, like, at the cat or wherever they would have
like,
gotten
say
to.
it somewhere. Like,
yeah.
I don't think it was really about that.
Yeah. It wasn't the only time that the conversation.
See, a lot of these "Am I the Asshole" posts, what's it really about?
Well, it's
what
hard.
What are you really butthurt about?
Because it's like, are they really telling the whole story?
Right.
Like, you only hope that they are.
Right.
They truly want an honest,
but we
unbiased.
can't focus on that.
Yeah.
Right? Like, well, but then there's the other part of me that's like, yeah, like, your mother-in-law's difficult, but, like, you are not marrying her.
Mm-hmm.
And I still think that, like, the way I see it is, like, obviously I'm not married, so that's a little different. I'm not getting married, and that's a little, at least not now, that that's a little different.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, my boyfriend's mom, if she, like, acted, like, crazy with me, or like was, like, super, like, disrespectful to me, I would not say anything.
Yeah.
I literally wouldn't. I would take it. I would take that shit. Like, I would eat it like a champ. Like, but, like, I feel like that's because that's what I would want, like, my boyfriend to do for me.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if my mom was being disrespectful to my boyfriend, I would freak out on her.
Yeah.
And I would let her know, like, you're not going to talk to my boyfriend like that. If his mom did the same thing, I know. Like, there's, like, it's not a question, it's not a doubt. Oh, like, what do you, like, I know he would tell his mom, like, do not speak to her like that. Anybody in his family. And so I think that's, like, and just in the same thing, right? If it happened in the reverse context, like, so that's, like, I feel like that's the bigger question to me is, like, are you the asshole, or, like, are you complaining for no reason, or
well, so in this case, she's basically asking because she canceled dinner, and he called her melodramatic. So it's like, I don't know, that would piss me off.
Yeah,
because he's not really seeing her side.
Yeah,
even after
if she's upset just because of the car thing,
True.
Then I'm like, yeah, you kind of are being melodramatic. Yeah. But if it's like his mom, like, said the stuff about, like, the prenup and stuff, like, then at that point I'm kind of like, okay, like, yeah, I'd be pissed. I would cancel dinner for, like, the rest of our lives. I'd cancel the wedding. like, because, like, that's my question. It's like, what is he saying when she's saying stuff like that? You know?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like that's the bigger question. But what do I know? I don't know. This one's tough.
I know. I would say she's, I don't know, I'm a pretty dramatic, passive-aggressive person, if we're being honest here. So I'm trying not to be.
I was never going to say it, guys.
I'm trying not to be. I think I've done better. I think it was the cancer. It's the cancer in me.
Cancers are moody.
Yeah.
I don't think you're moody, though. I think
Yeah.
you're a serial people pleaser
Mm.
who's afraid of conflict.
Yeah.
That's what it
100%.
is. But that's why we balance each other out.
Yeah.
I feel like I've gotten more afraid of conflict as I've gotten older. Where it's, like, more uncomfortable for me. Whereas, like, when I was younger, I was just kind of like, whatever. Like,
I think I'm starting to not be slowly. Like,
cool.
slow. Only because
Happy for you. I'm really happy for you.
Only because I'm just starting to get into that mindset where it's just like, it doesn't fucking matter. Like, I'm like, if you really want to start something, I'll keep it going for you. Like, I will hit you right back. I'm just like, I don't know. I'm in that phase where I'm like, I want to humble someone because they really are trying to, cause an issue when this is going to sound so cliche, but there's literally worse stuff going on in the world. And I'm like, you really, like...
Kim, people are dying, Kim.
My
diamond earrings.
And I think most of it is, where we work in coffee bars. We serve people. Mm-hmm. So we deal with some very interesting people.
People are fucking rude.
Yeah.
So rude.
And I hear...
Why wasn't my latte ready? Or, like, no, my favorite is when, like, people... I think I talked about this on the last episode when people are like, I've been waiting for 30 minutes. And I'm like, do you realize that it shows us on the screen?
When you paid?
Like the moment that transaction went through. You've been waiting for 3 minutes and 45 seconds.
Yeah.
Not 30.
Yeah. Like, I literally had someone...
So if you didn't know and you're listening, now you know.
Yeah.
Don't embarrass yourself.
Don't.
Please.
And I just, like, I don't know. I'm just kind of like, what? Like, I literally, the other day, our bathrooms are locked. We share a bathroom with multiple businesses. Mm-hmm. And she walked up to me because we were closing, gave me the key, and was like, the bathroom is, like, locked. And I'm like, yeah, you're handing me the key. And I was like, yeah. Like, and she's like, sooner or later, people are just going to start peeing in the streets. And I was like, what? And I literally stood there like, I kind of like froze.
What?
And it was so awkward that she had to continue the conversation because I kind of was like, where are you going with this?
That's what Carolyn taught me. If you don't talk, people get so uncomfortable, they'll just kind of keep talking.
And I was like, well, we've had multiple incidences in this bathroom because it's like people just sneak in and go in. So like it has to be locked. And she gave me this look of like, I don't know. I just creating a key for a bathroom. Like it just sounds so. And I was like, lady, and she comes in all the time. So it's just like, why are you, what do you want me to do? Like, I'm like, what am I supposed to do? But it's like those type of people, you can't please them. So that's what I've tried to just stop. I'm like, I don't care. There's nothing I say or do that'll send you on your merry way with a smile.
Actually never right.
Literally never.
Literally never.
Literally never.
Can I tell you that I had a customer come in recently who at one of my jobs that called one of my employees racist because he said that she looked at him weird.
I feel like you told me this, but
he looked at me and said, he said this. He was like, she's giving racist. She's giving racism. Made her cry. And he said it in front of like a bunch of customers. Yeah. And like, I was like, and I looked at him and I was like, and he was like, as a POC, like this and that. And I was like, what? As a POC, I think you're
way too woke.
FOS, full of shit. Yeah. Like, what? Like, and that, it's people like that, though, that makes, like, other POC look bad. Yeah. Like, it may, like, literally, like, when shit actually goes down, it's people like that who, like, make it a joke. Like, now it's, like, I feel like with, like, Black Lives Matter and stuff, like, it was just, like, getting, like, really good attention. Mm-hmm. But now there's, like, not just Black Lives Matter, other stuff with, like, people of color, other movements and stuff. And, like, even like for like the LGBTQ plus community, like I feel like it was getting more attention that I'd seen in a really long time, which is fucking great. Even now, it's still good. But now I've been like coming across situations like this one where I'm like, see, now you're taking
sending us back.
You're
like,
no, literally, that's how I
what it
feel.
is,
Like
yeah.
I'm just like,
yeah.
what do you mean? Or like I saw a TikTok saying that like straight people can't like wear like pride stuff or like like in support or anything. Like I'm just like, what the fuck is the point then?
Yeah.
Like you want to only support each
to,
other?
Yeah.
Like and like don't get me wrong, I'm not out here like fucking wearing rainbow socks or anything, but like I mean like what if I did like I have a lot of my employees have like we all have pins and stuff. I have a Black Lives Matter pin, like because I'm black, somebody could just be like, no.
Yeah, I actually saw it like last week and I was like, you know what? Take that off. Take it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
this guy came into my work today and he said he like commented on my hair because I dyed it all back to my natural color.
Period.
And he was like, oh, I like the hair. And I was like, thanks. And he was like, now you look like a real Indian without those white straps in the front. And I was like, thank you. I was like, yeah, like I probably do look more native. Like, and he was like, am I not supposed to say Indian anymore? I was like, I don't know.
This is
like,
too much.
That's what I hate is when they like try to be like.
That reminds me of like when this customer, it was like 6:15. We'd been open for like 15 minutes, and I was like, I think I was on register, and so I had to like, he wanted coffee, and I was like, do you want room for cream? And he's like as I'm like about to turn around, he's like, nah, I like my coffee black, like I like my woman. And I was like, and my lead was like, and I was like,
Can we please talk about your friend?
My friend.
Your friend who loves chocolate women.
Oh my God, wait. That guy? He's not my friend.
That was the joke.
So Jasmine is referencing.
You've never heard people say that?
I forgot about him. I literally took him out of my mind, and I get so
see him every day.
He still comes in.
He comes into my work too. I see him every day. We're like neighbors.
Yeah.
Me and my boyfriend saw him at the market in like by my house.
His brother comes in. Super nice.
He has a brother?
Yeah. Total like different person. This guy that Jasmine is referring to, I met him like right when I had started. And actually you knew him before, like but he would come in.
That's just because I worked there.
Yeah, you knew him from work, and he'd come in and he always had his girlfriend. He had a girlfriend with him, and she was like this super pretty black woman. And what's it called? They'd always come in, and he was super nice. He was super normal, very chill. He actually, what did he do? He was like in the army.
Yes.
And he talked about how he went to Eritrea, which is where my parents are from. And I was like, oh my God, that's so cool. He said he had an Eritrean girlfriend. I was like, wow, look at you. Like back in the day, people, like 30 years ago. So I was like,
this
okay,
guy's
cool.
older. He's like 60 something.
Yeah. But at some point after COVID, it was like after we had, because there's, he broke up with his girlfriend and he came in. I had just missed him by like 20 minutes. I left. And the next day I come in and they're like, oh, there's a gift for you. And I was like, well, who the fuck brought me a gift? I was like, okay, oh my God. Like maybe it's like one of the customers that I love, you know, like Kate, you know, someone like that.
I love Kate.
So I was like, okay, like I'm looking in the back. And it's like this box. It's like a bag with a shirt in it. It's a red shirt. and there's jewelry. I think I only took like a picture. Yeah, there was like jewelry. And he left a message. It wasn't a note, but he left a message with my boss and was like, or no, he left a note saying this was for my ex-girlfriend, but I think you would, I think this shirt would look good on your complexion or would look stunning on your complexion. And I was like, who accepted this gift on my behalf? Who was
you're done.
Yeah, I was, oh my God, I was so like, no. And so I was like, I'm not accepting this. And
yeah, because it's weird. What if you like put a tracking device
exactly
in the
shirt? Or yeah. And one of my shift leads, he totally understood. He was like, yeah, that's fucking creepy. Like, he was like, I wasn't here when.
Who was it?
Christos. He was like, do you want me to say something? And I was a little like, I don't know. Like, that's going to be awkward.
It's so uncomfortable.
But
like,
then I
why
was like, I don't care.
I was like,
yeah, I was like, don't, you know.
Right.
And my manager also like backed him up and gave him the gift back. And ever since then, he didn't show up for a long time. But I was like, and now I saw him a couple days ago. And every single time I run to the back, I'm like, this is so awkward. I
see him all the time.
He works across the street from us.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like.
Me and diliet literally work like almost like next door to each other.
Yeah.
Sometimes we meet on our lunches. Mm-hmm. Not so much with the rain.
So cute.
I know. BFFs. But people are so weird. Yeah. But I had a customer buy my apron from me one time.
Oh my God, yeah.
Do you remember that? He asked me to keep my name tag on it, and I was like, no. Hear me out. I've talked about this before, but like he asked to buy it, and I was like, that's creepy. But then I was like, honestly, like I get this thing for free.
Make some money off it.
Right.
I had a customer offer to buy my book stuff or like school stuff at Target.
Oh,
and I was like, no, thank you, I'm okay.
Yeah.
And he doesn't come in as much.
Ooh, I don't know.
People are just.
Well, I think that I don't know. I think that people.
But it's crazy because it's like even the customers that you do talk to every day, who you like.
What's always the worst when they turn?
Yeah, like even like I told Jazz this, but like. 2 weeks ago I had cried the whole day before, then like cried into the night over our friend passing away, went to work, and I looked like shit. I was like, I'm not putting any makeup on. I was like, I do not care.
Yeah.
And I had one of our regulars, he was coming in, and he looked at me like, ooh, you look pretty rough. Did you like wake up on the wrong side of bed? And I was like,
and they say that shit.
And I literally stood there and I said, well, my friend passed away, so. And then he was like, oh. And I'm like, I want you to feel like shit. Feel like shit. Because, like, why the fuck do people say stuff like that?
No, literally.
It's.
Well, when you, like, work in the service industry, I think people think that, like, you just, like, you're there to just, like, be treated like shit.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, people think. I think it's so impersonal for them because we're just like serving them.
Yeah.
But
then they want all the perks. They want.
Right.
They want, oh, give me $1. Like, put a shot in there. Put, like,
right.
Give me a discount.
Totally. And
like,
you know what I hate? No. No. I'll tell you what I hate. Regulars who think that they're like that regular. Like,
oh,
you know, the usual. No, I don't know the usual.
Yeah.
I literally ring up like hundreds of people per day. Like, what makes you think that you're special?
Yeah.
Like, and like, not to be a dick, but like, and it's like one thing, but like, don't get mad at me when I don't remember.
Yeah.
Like, that happened to me. This guy was like, come on, you've rung me up hundreds of times. How do you not know my order? And I was like, actually, I haven't rung up your order hundreds of times because I'm the manager. And I'm usually in the back.
Exactly.
Or
you're on bar.
Or I'm on bar, but I'm never making food, and I'm never bringing people up. That's just not that I won't, but like, it's just not how it works out. Yeah. And he was like, "Well, I just see you here all the time," and blah blah blah. And I was like, "Yeah,
because I'm the manager.
Because I'm the fucking big honcho, baby. Yeah,
It's
Heffa.
supposed to be here.
My dad texted me today. I told him how much I made last year because I was feeling very proud of myself. And he said, nice, Tiny, you're the Heffa. And I was like, no, he said, yeah, he said, you're the Hefe. And I was like, I'm a woman. Pretty sure it's Heffa. Like, and I feel like I shouldn't be the one to be teaching you that. But anyway, people are weird.
Yeah.
Customers are weird. I don't know how we got here. We only have one more. Am I the asshole? This one's my favorite. Well, we'll do this last one and kind of talk our shit. Hey Phil, where are we on time? Whatever. He's like, who knows?
I don't care.
Phil's the best. Okay, so this one is titled, so it's on Refinery 29. It's called The Horny Wife. Obviously, we all know that's why I chose it. So the person writing is a 28-year-old female. Husband, 31-year-old male, had to spend 2 months in a different state for work. He came back 9 days ago. I am obviously thrilled he's back, and I've missed him a lot. I was hoping we would be able to spend some time together, just the two of us. However, his mom, 56-year-old male, came over when he was supposed to come home. I was slightly annoyed, but I know she was just excited for her son to come back. However, she never left. Like, I was prepared to deal with her for being there for a day or two, but not 9 days. Because she's been here for 9 days, we haven't had a second of time together. She insists on staying here instead of a hotel. For the record, she lives an hour away. The guest room is right next to ours, and the walls are thin. When the two of us go out, she comes with us or makes one of us stay with her. Otherwise, we would be, in quotes, bad hosts. She follows us around the house constantly. We want to cuddle and watch movies. She's sitting in the armchair. We want to go to a romantic restaurant. Better make that at a table for 3. We have even left her in the living room to go chat in our room, and she follows us. Earlier today, I just asked her to leave, even though both of us have been hinting that she needs to go. She kept saying she wasn't ready to go yet and wanted more time with her son. I tried telling her we wanted some alone time, and she kept insisting that she join us. Finally, I snapped and said, since you seem to be so oblivious, I will put this bluntly. I want to fuck your son. If you don't want to see or hear, then you need to leave. I know this isn't the classiest response ever, but I was frustrated. Anyway, she yelled at me, but eventually left. We finally got to have our alone time, but now she is blowing up both of our phones, saying that I am disgusting and have no respect for her, her son, or myself. She keeps telling my husband that he shouldn't be with someone so crude, and how dare he let me speak to her like that. I'm sure you get the idea. I know that what I said was really inappropriate, but am I the asshole?
Wow.
You're done.
Yeah. I could never do that. I could never say to my mother-in-law, like, I could never say that.
You're the asshole. I think
Yeah.
you're the asshole. I
get her frustration.
yeah.
Totally. Like,
Had she not said it like that, she
Yeah.
would not be the asshole at all.
I think the son should have said something
Yes.
and been more firm.
Especially because it's way more comfortable. Like, you're going to make your fucking, like, the thought of me even in a nice way trying to ask my boyfriend's mom to leave, like, I would never.
Yeah,
I would rather
just
never
suck
have
it
sex again for the rest of my life. Like, I would feel so bad I couldn't do it. But, like, to tell my mom, I'd be like, Mom, like, can you go?
Yeah. Or his mom. Like,
Right.
yeah.
But, like,
yeah.
I think that it's so weird to, like, I just think that's weird.
Yeah.
I would never in a million years say that to somebody's mother. Like,
yeah.
I want to fuck your son.
Yeah.
Because here's my thoughts. Not that, like I feel like in, like, a lot of, like, when you see on TikTok and stuff, the argument of, like, ew, like, boy moms are weird. Like, they're like in love with their sons and blah blah blah. Like Freud would have loved all of it, but like my mom was a boy mom before she was a girl mom, 4 sons, and so like I have seen that like where women are like protective or like whatever, like when they're like, but and there is like that weird part of it where like someone were like they're like super jealous of like their son's girlfriends and stuff. Like you're weird.
You're weird.
That's weird.
Yeah.
But I feel like in that comparison, like no matter what and no matter how healthy your relationship is with your boyfriend or girlfriend, there's always that weird energy when it comes to like a girlfriend and the boyfriend's mother of like who is like who would be able to step out of line without there being like a consequence. Like some people would be like, oh, like my mom could but my girlfriend couldn't. Some people would be like, my girlfriend could, my mom couldn't. Like I think it depends, but like as a woman, you know that the one place where like the mom can't compare is like the sex, because obviously they're not sleeping with their kid.
Yeah.
And
well,
like
hopefully.
Right. And like I know this is like a weird perspective, but that's just like where my thought process is. And like I feel like that's just like it's just like a guy with like a dad. Like when it comes to the opposite gender parent, or the like the same as you but the opposite of the kid, like I feel like you don't bring up sex.
Yeah.
Like I just think that's so weird. Like it's weird even for like the like my mom or like the guy's dad, but like it's like extra weird when you know, because I feel like dads are like protecting that part of their daughters. So like for a guy to be like, I'm gonna fuck your daughter.
Oof.
That's like
that's
like a different level of disrespect. Yeah. It's like I don't know how to explain it. It's just like that territory makes it so weird. Yeah. And I feel like it's the same for a mom. Like it's different obviously because like men are more like protective of their daughters, I feel like, than women usually are. But like it's still like that same thing where like you don't want your son to like be kissing girls and stuff. Yeah. And like to have some like little girl be like, I'm gonna fuck your son. Like I'm trying to fuck your son. Like to say it like that,
and
like
the thing is, it could have been
you're
said
weird
a
for
million
that.
Different ways.
And because it's like what power move are you trying to pull? Because that I just feel like I think that's what bothers me.
Like
I feel
what
like
reaction
it was like
was she expecting?
I feel like she wanted to pull a power move.
But that ain't power with like a mother.
It's just like weird. But do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Am I making sense?
Yeah.
Like I just feel like it's like the almost, and I think that because women can be so blinded by by sex and women that like to say that I feel like is like a, you know, we both know what's gonna win here.
Exactly.
Like hanging out with his mom who's been here for fucking 9 days already, or getting pussy when he hasn't had it in a couple months. Like, but it's like we all know that. So like, why do you gotta say it?
Exactly.
You know, I just think that's so weird. If one of my brother's girlfriends said that to my mom,
oh my god,
not very Buddhist of me, but I would have to like try really hard not to like physically assault someone.
I think too. I mean, I wonder what happened after that.
I just think that's so weird.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
because like with your family, I feel like your
it's just
brothers
so
would
disrespectful.
Be like, whoa, you can't say shit like
my brothers
that to
would
my
be like,
mom. You don't talk like
weirdo.
That. But I wonder how he reacted to her after.
It sounded to me like he didn't really like.
I mean, he wanted his mom gone, but he was just only hinting at it. He didn't really, you know.
Right. I don't know.
She could have told him in bed, asshole. You need to tell her, or well, I guess, I mean, she could have told him in bed, honestly, like, you need to tell your mom. How thin are those
walls? I mean, I'm just saying, like, nothing is too thin unless there's no wall at all. That's my rule of thumb.
I mean, but she sounded very. I would be feel so suffocated with my mom being there for
Yeah.
his mom being there for 9 days. Like the type of like, don't close your door when you go to bed. Ooh. Like I just feel like,
Mm.
and she's
You're
an hour
done.
away. That's when I was like, so
Yeah,
she could,
that's not
that's
really like that
us to,
far.
yeah,
That's like to my boyfriend's house.
yeah, from
That's
yeah,
like really not that far.
it isn't.
That's okay. That's a little bit longer than to my boyfriend's house, but like
Still, it's just like,
I don't know.
I don't know.
But
think
I
she's-
still think she's the asshole
she's the
because like you're
asshole.
fucking weird for that.
yeah.
Like
And-
I just think that's really weird to say.
And also, it's just like, I get it, you're frustrated, but it's like the outcome. Like, how do you want the relationship? Like, you would want it to be good with your mother-in-law, unless you want a lifetime's worth of drama, you know, because she's gonna remember that.
Right.
And it's like, if you have kids,
And she was clearly upset about it.
exactly. So it's like you kind of just opened a door that's even, in my opinion, it's 10 times worse, worse, than like an overbearing mother-in-law staying for 9 days. I don't know.
Well,
It's just weird.
yeah. I don't know. I think she's the asshole.
Yeah. Same.
I don't know. It like actually like borderline makes me mad. I don't know why. Why does that bother me? What does that say about me? Because I wouldn't say, I mean, clearly sex, like talking about sex doesn't make me uncomfortable, but with certain people it does. I would never talk to, like, the thought of having to talk to my father about sex literally
that's
makes me,
frightening.
okay, when I had a miscarriage, having to tell my dad,
Mm.
that was worse than having to tell the guy. Literally. Not because I thought my dad would be mad at me, but just at the thought of him knowing. Like, for sure. Like, my dad is a whore.
Oh my god.
Not that if you get pregnant, you're a whore.
Yeah.
Our moms. No, I don't know.
But it is,
super awkward.
there are just people in life that you're like, I never want to touch
I just can't.
Yeah. We all know it happens, obviously, but
Right,
we're just
but
not
like,
gonna,
don't talk about it.
exactly.
Like, I could never, I don't think I could talk to you about the intimate details of either of our lives.
Yeah.
I simply could not. I don't think. I mean, like, I tell you things sometimes.
I think only, like, you know, if something
for, like,
crazy happened.
Yeah,
Or, like,
right, right.
Like, if I was like, listen to this.
Girl, listen
But-
to this.
You know.
I feel like nothing crazy's ever really happened to me, like, during sex. I've never had anything, like, scarily shocking happen. I did get my period one time in a guy's bed. Very awkward. But he was really nice about it, so it wasn't like like some big horrible thing.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Anyway.
She's the asshole. The
Anyway,
conclusion
she's the
is-
asshole. The
yeah.
conclusion is that she's the asshole.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I guess that's our last one.
I'm interested to see, like, on that thread of, like, what people, like, if they're, like, what were the reasoning for the people, like, who agreed with her? Like, no, you're totally right. I would have said that. Like, I wonder, like, I just want to understand.
I guess
I
guess
know,
there
like-
can always be the argument of like I don't know, just out of frustration. I guess
I guess.
I don't know, because people
Maybe
say
it
that all
really
the time.
ticked
Like,
her off to the point
I
where
say,
she was
I
like,
say things out of frustration, out of anger.
like she was going to explode.
But like, and I'm not trying to act like I'm perfect again, guys. Although we all know I am. But I don't I guess, like, for me personally, like, I don't really say things out of anger because I go
Or, like,
silent.
in the heat of moment. Yeah, you've
Or-
never
but
been.
well, no. What I get worried about is that I'm gonna say what I really feel. But like, I've said some pretty, like, fucked up shit to people when I'm mad, like, and that's why I go silent, because like, I'm like, I'll ruin a relationship, I'll burn a bridge in like 2 seconds. Like, I will take it to the level that, like, nobody should ever take it to.
Yeah.
Like, I will, the line,
Like, no coming
I'll
back.
jump like 10 feet over it. Like, and I guess that's what, like, so I get that, but like, I don't understand people who are like, who will be like, yeah, I lied and I made that up because I was mad.
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand that. I would love to hear from somebody who's done that and like want to know why.
Yeah.
Because I literally, that when I get mad, I get worried that I'm going to like tell the truth too much. Not the opposite. I don't know. I feel like I've never really seen you mad.
Yeah, I've only been really mad with my parents.
Really, it's just so sweet.
With my mom. But the problem is like me and my mom are such like, where my dad is like trying to be Swiss. And sometimes I get mad at him because I'm like,
That's
you
how my
can't
dad
fucking be
is.
Swiss right now, dude. Be the judge. Sway, like, you know what's right.
Say something.
Say something, yeah.
No, literally.
But he has always, even with my mom, he's just always been like the calm, collective, like, you know, and he told me, he was like, you are not going to get anywhere with her unless you're calm. And I was like, that is so fucking stupid. Like, no, I'm not going to do that. And for a while I didn't, but I was getting nowhere. And now, anytime she, you know, she tries to start something, I kind of look at her.
What do you mean? Our moms are perfect.
Yeah.
Mother knows best.
She does.
I do agree with that statement, actually.
But, and for my mom, it's just like the way she was raised, like in a different country. And like, I would constantly hear like her reasonings, you know, well, that's how they are in Eritrea. That's how I was raised. And I'm like, okay, honey, but we're in America.
My dad does that too.
We're here.
My dad does that too about
kids,
Mexico.
Yeah, I'm like, you have kids who were raised here, not there.
And yeah. That's the one thing I can say that I'm like grateful about having a white mom.
Mm-hmm.
The one thing, just kidding. But is that like there were so many times in my childhood where my mom was like, we're not in Mexico.
Yeah.
Like you can't do that.
My mom is more like, or your mom is more like my dad in that sense,
Right.
where he's been here longer and he raised a kid as a single parent. And he's, you know, he's the one who's always like, your mom just doesn't understand. And I'm like, well, fucking make her understand. Like, what the hell?
Right.
But ever since I started being more, like, not trying to get angry, like, calm, it's made her calm. Which I'm like, thank God. Because I don't want to deal with, you know,
Right.
something over so tiny.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I guess because I don't want conflict, I don't really get angry. Like, I kind of just hold it in.
Interesting.
I'll just, like, you know, get frustrated. I'll rant to you.
You can be mean.
Really?
Passive mean.
Yes, passive mean.
Passive mean.
Passive, yeah.
But
And sometimes I don't
But
even
I've never
know.
seen you like freak out to some like on someone, whereas
I don't think I've
I
had
know
an
you've
incident.
seen me freak out on people.
I just don't think
This
I've
was
had
before
something
Buddhism,
happen to
guys.
me.
Before
Yeah,
Buddhism.
prior.
Before. Somebody asked me, they're like, "Are you like really Buddhist?" People ask me that all the time, and I'm like,
No.
they're like, "Well, you just like don't really like seem like it, you know?" And I'm like, "Okay, don't get me wrong. It's a practice
Yeah.
that I work at every day. Am I a fucking monk? No." Like, God. But I can tell you one thing. I don't really lie. Sometimes I do. Sometimes I lie. That's
White
the
lie.
truth. But never about anything big or anything important.
Mhm.
I don't steal. I don't partake in sexual misconduct. And I don't kill people. And I don't take intoxicants. I don't drink. I don't smoke weed. I don't vape anymore. And so that's what I've been trying to do. I'm trying. I mean, I'm pretty much fucking following the rules. However, like, you know, technically following like the Eightfold Path, like you have to have like right speech, right thought. I'm really working on those two, right speech and right thought. right action. I
It's
feel
a
like
practice. It's like till
I
you get
try.
there.
Well, especially like being raised like me, like Jesus Christ,
got a
give
lot of
me a
stuff to
fucking
unlearn.
break. Like, god damn.
Yeah.
Like, jeez. But
You're doing good.
thank you.
You're doing good, sweetie.
That's why we're best friends, guys. I just need somebody to compliment me all the time. But if anybody's ever interested in Buddhism or any mindfulness, not me, but check out Jack Cornfield. Jack. Cornfield is Korn. I know. Fieleld. Corn with a K field. He actually he's from like the Bay Area. And he is a teacher, and I'm pretty sure he studied psychology too, but he's Buddhist, and I think he was a monk at one point, or like he tried to be, or something like that. And his wife is also does teachings and stuff as well, and like Dharma talks, and I listen to his podcast literally every night religiously. Like I'll listen to old episodes, I'll listen to the new episodes. And I'm like really into him. He's just really funny and like real. Like, and that's something that I've always like appreciated about Buddhism is like, I have yet to come across like anybody who's practices that like talks about it in a way that's like, yes, like we're just so peaceful and amazing, like this and that. Like they're just like, they're really real. And like, yeah, like that's like the fucking main thing. Like life is suffering. Like we have horrible things that happen. Like we do things that create karma, which and then in turn creates suffering, and this life is suffering, and you know, yada yada. But like I don't know, I just really appreciate that. Whereas like I don't follow Buddhism as a religion. I think that's something that people get confused about a lot, is like I've been asked a lot, like, so do you believe in God? And I'm like, okay, like I think because like my brothers are Vietnamese, and like their dad's from Vietnam, and like so that's the reason why I know about like the religious Buddhism, where like they worship Buddha as a god. But like from my understanding, like the Buddha never wanted to be worshipped, like, and there's no god. So like I don't know. So there's like two sides of it that I've seen, but like I follow it as more like a lifestyle. Like I don't think my Buddhism isn't a religion. It's just like a way of life, trying to like seek and take refuge, like, and like taking refuge in the Buddha. Like for me, like I feel like when I first started getting really into it, I was struggling a lot with like anxiety, and like trying to like come to the point of like, yeah, if you guys see me playing with my shoes, it's because I love them so much. I got them from Target in the little girls section. So just saying. For $20. They're the Cat and Jack brand. Anyway. What was I saying?
Way of life.
It's way of life. I don't even remember what I was saying. Guys, I have ADD. I'm sorry. Buddhism. Something about Buddhism. Anyway, I just really like it, and I really like how people are like real about it. And it's, I don't know. It's where anxiety. That's what I was gonna talk about. So I just started like I wasn't even trying to like practice. I just was like, oh, this is cool. And then the more I started reading about Buddhism, the more I was like, oh my god, this is stuff that I already believe in. Like, I already believe in like reincarnation. I already believe in like karma. I got it tattooed on me. I'm really big on karma. I don't like when people let me borrow money. I'm gonna give it back. Don't give me money. I'm like, I would say a lot of the reason that I'm not a shitty person is because I'm so afraid of karma. And that's just like, to be real. I and so like with like anxiety and stuff, like in the taking refuge in Buddhism and in the Buddha and his teachings, like I came to the conclusion that like a lot of my anxious thoughts, like they come from like a big place of ego, where I'm like, oh, like what if everybody thinks that I like last episode I had a double chin. We've all talked about my double chin. And like stuff like that, where I'm like, where today I was like, oh, I hope I don't have a double chin again. But like I was like, and so I was feeling a little anxious about it and like making sure, or like, but not even really. But like, you know, like what if I sound stupid on this podcast? Like I get anxious about shit like that all the time. Like doesn't matter how many episodes I've recorded, doesn't matter. Like I still get anxious before I record an episode. And but like realizing that that comes from such a place of ego of like, why do I care what other people think of me? Like, why would that bother me? You know? And I don't know, it's just been really helpful to me. Yeah. And meditation is everything. I know therapists and psychologists call it mindfulness now, but bitch, you're meditating. I don't know what else to tell. Yeah. Why? It's so recommended now, like by all therapists and stuff. Yeah. Because it's a good way to ground yourself. Meditation, it's useful.
But why do they call it mindfulness?
Because meditation gets a bad rap. I think people think it's like boring and stuff. I mean, it is. It can be. Until then, once it's like kind of like exercising. I think I've become addicted to the gym, which literally good for me. Good. But like it's like that thing where like I hated going to the gym forever. And now I like it.
Good. That's
like now it's like a relief to me where I'm like, oh, I'm having a bad day, I want to go to the gym. And that's kind of how it is with meditation. At first I was like, dude, this shit's so fucking boring if I have to do this one more time. But then now I'm like, oh my God, I need to meditate. Like, oh, I would feel so much better if I meditated right now. You know what I mean? Anyway, so thank you for coming on. Thank you for being here. Me. Thank you to Phil for being here.
For real.
My favorite person. Me and Phil met twice, but we're best friends. I mean, you're both my best friends.
I guess we can share the spot.
You guys start fist fighting, like wrestling. But Dill, thank you so much for coming on.
Of course.
As always, I just love you so much.
I love you too.
You're my fucking BFF.
I'm so excited for you.
Thank you. Thank you.
I see great things.
I see great things.
I'm not kidding. I literally do. I do.
Literally, me and diliet talk all the time about like if we became millionaires, and every time like I would just make you my assistant.
Period.
Like you wouldn't have to like work a normal job, and then once like that got too difficult, like you would just be like my person that comes with me. I don't know, my emotional support.
Me and Diane
bestie.
Just right there.
Diane, the thought of not being able to see Diane every day though, that actually upsets me. Like,
but really I would have her so you could be able to see her, even if it's for like 2 minutes.
God,
I'll be there.
You're such a good friend. You guys see that? That's what you call a good friend.
Loyalty.
Amazing. Yeah. Well, I love you so much.
We're big on loyal.
Yes, we're big on loyalty. Very big. Don't go against the family. Just kidding. Well, yeah.
Not.
Don't go against each other. All right. Well, as always, you heard it here first. That's the fucking whiskey, bitch.